Good afternoon. I'm Minister Ricardo Sharp, Chief Executive Officer of the Grace Group Consortium, and our job is to destigmatize mental health. So, and the way we do it is just simplify it. It's just as regular as if you had a cold or a broken leg. People with mental health issues are sick. They're ill, and that's an acronym I use, ILL, ill. You know, and I'm going to go over that real quick. The reason why I'm coming from the concrete jungle, because living in a city and certain zip codes are a risk factor. You know what I'm saying? And then we have protective factors. We'll go over that at another time, but I want to zoom in on the topic today, which is acute stress disorder, right? And post-traumatic stress disorder. So one precedes the other. Acute stress disorder. So I'm going to talk about that in the causes. So let me start with acute stress disorder. Now, it's natural to have some type of stress. You get up in the morning, you breathe, that's stress. But when stress interferes with what I call WAR and DET, so that's your ability to work, your ability to conduct daily activities, and your ability to have sustained relationships. When stress interferes with those things, you're bordering on what may be a mental health issue. Then it goes further to interfere with what I call BET, your behavior, your emotions, your thoughts and perceptions, right? When those things are interfered with, you're dealing with a possible mental health issue. So what the Grace Group does is recognize signs and symptoms, and we got an acronym for that. I call it SSS. So it's signs, symptoms, and solutions. And I'm going to go into my major solution because I'm a mental health first aid instructor under Thrive NYC, which is an initiative of Mayor de Blasio's wife, Charlene McCray. So acute stress disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder is usually brought on by either distressing or catastrophic events. And we just went through a catastrophic event, COVID-19, and people of color already has been going through catastrophic events with the policing and over-policing and things of that nature. And again, living in the city. Let me give you some examples of catastrophic events. War, right? Accidents, assaults, physical or sexual assaults, right? And also one that you don't see, mental abuse. All right? These all lead into another condition called hypervigilance. So when you're stressed out, and I'm talking about acute stress, right? Which is active stress, interfering with your daily work, activities, and relationships, you develop a thing called hypervigilance. So hypervigilance is a heightened awareness of your surroundings. And you could say it borders on paranoia because you're heightened about what's happening around you. You're sensitive about what's happening around you. You may even feel that certain people are talking about you, hypervigilance, right? And that's after witnessing, right, a significant event. So we have acute stress disorder. And remember, the part that says disorder is because it's a disorder. Because it's not in order. You can't conduct your work, your activities, and relationships. All right? Acute stress disorder. So now acute stress disorder usually lasts 1 month, right? And the reason why, and depending on if it goes even longer, is because of that acronym ILL. The intensity of it, I. And I'm going to say the L and the L twice in different ways. How long it lasts and the length it lasts. So that's what usually happens. The intensity and how long it lasts and the length it lasts. All right? And normally when you have acute stress disorder and it's something horrific, right? It's more likely to lead in post-traumatic stress disorder. So let me deal with some solutions after this. And as you heard in the background, this is the hood. So I wanted to come from the hood. I didn't want to do nothing outside of the hood. And I'm going to wrap it up in the next 20 seconds. So Thrive NYC have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week program, right? And they're professionals. They're there and they're waiting on you. So I would go online, nyc.gov/NYC Well, and I would talk to one of the professionals. So that's what we're talking about. So under signs is WAR, work, activities, and relationships. And under symptoms is BET, behavior, emotions, and thoughts, and the way you perceive things. And then the solution is NYC. And that's only one solution. There's many solutions. So I'm going to go into some detail tomorrow on post-traumatic stress disorder, usually associated with veterans and other people. Another miracle. Signing out. Peace.